And welcome to another episode of For Science, where we show you fun, family-friendly experiments that you can recreate at home or in the classroom. And today, we are studying the scientific concept of thrust using ring airplanes. So, all you're going to need for this experiment is some Scotch tape, a piece of construction paper or stock paper, a pair of scissors, and a disposable straw. That's all you're going to need for this one. Let's get started. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut 3 strips out of our piece of paper. You want to make them roughly an inch wide, every single one of them. So, let's get that done. So now we have our 3 strips of paper. What you're going to want to do is take 2 of them and using your Scotch tape, tape them together. Now you're going to take your straw and we are now going to connect the hoops that we're making with our strips of paper to the straw. Now remember, you want your straw to be inside the hoops so it creates less drag. Let's get to it. Thrust is the force that pushes the straw glider forward. Now, when you launch your airplane from your hand, you're generating enough thrust that allows the plane to move through the air. Now, drag, or air resistance, is the force that acts in opposition to thrust. Drag is what slows the airplane down. For our experiment, air should move through the hoops and provide lift, or the force that keeps an airplane up. Gravity is the force that pulls the glider down and acts against lift. So, as the airplane slows down to drag and the strength of lift lessens, gravity will pull your airplane down to the ground. Now here is our glider. Now, this is a science show. I'm not the best crafter, so it doesn't look great, but it should fly great. Now, something to remember when testing this out at home or in the classroom is you want to grip it by the middle of the straw. That way, when you release, you're giving it enough thrust to travel. So, let's head outside and test our airplane. Okay, so we've come outside so that we can test our airplane glider safely. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so we're back inside, and I'll admit, I am a little discouraged. I was excited to see how far our little airplane glider would travel, but this is so important to share with you all. When it comes to science, it's not a science. You make the best hypothesis you can based upon the information you have, and then you experiment with it and see what you can do to prove your concept. This didn't necessarily prove the concept of thrust and drag versus lift, but it did show us that there are a lot of variations on how to make an airplane. So, we're going to make sure, if you're interested in trying this out for yourself at home, maybe some of the variations on this experiment, which there are many, we're going to make sure a full material list and a step-by-step breakdown is all available after the show today on 9and10news.com. And remember, we're always doing it for science.